I'm a product of a social justice movement. Social justice, social reformist movement or a product now. I'm a doctor by affirmative action. I did my both MBBS, MD by reservation. So I pay my gratitude to the social liberators of Tamil Nadu, Thandai Periyar, Anna, founding father of our constitution, B.R. Ambedkar. இப்போ ஒரு முக்கியமான டாபிக் வந்து சயின்ஸ் மானிட்டர் ஆர்கனைசேஷன் வந்து நீங்க நமக்கு கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. Gratitude towards our mother earth அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. Our minister Meyanathan sir himself is a social activist. A social environmental activist and a protester. So our relationship began on the protest field. Sir was protesting for Nedavasal agricultural farmers against the draconian union government intervention of drilling oil into the agricultural farms. Sir was leading a all-party or non-party organization of farmers. So when we were in the opposition, I had an informal phone call to Meyanathan sir. I didn't know that he belonged to our political party and he didn't know that I belonged to the political party. But we were so concerned about the farmers of Nedavasal. So what I did, I brought the present chief minister to the protest site and we all aligned together on the protest site. And it was one of the most successful protests of agricultural farmers to drill oil in an agricultural field. And the process, our chief minister, beloved chief minister, has empowered social activists into political scenario. He has made the protest leading side coordinator as a minister of environment. And our travel is continuing. As you know, Meyanathan sir is an eco-friendly approach not only in the field of environment, in every spheres and every way of life. So he has two major feather caps of success in the short period. He was a man behind the great chess Olympiad event which was conducted and he made the entire tournament as eco-friendly tournament. And I joined hands to conduct this women international tennis tournament in Nungamak. Again, we made that entire tournament as eco-friendly tournament. Not even a single garbage would have been left the next day. So that sensitive levels has always been there. So you have aligned the most appropriate persons in a most appropriate place. Father Thomas was giving a typical example of role model college. Similar Laila appears to me like a biosphere. As a biosphere model for other institutions to follow. Because we have been interacting with Father right from the day he became an MLA during the COVID times, during the flood times. So it was a campus as a role model for environment protection so that other institutions to follow. So coming back to our original topic of environmental protection and global warming, as a physician, as a doctor, as a treating doctor, this pandemic of corona's impact on adversity of anthropocene. I think Father was celebrating this generation as Generation Z, but our generation is one of the worst generation to cause environmental damage when compared to our previous ancestors. So our generation, we are talking about market economy, developmental economy, economic liberalization and everything. But we fail to address the adverse effect on the environment by the neoliberation policies of the various governments. When we switch over to a market economic model, it is always profit-oriented model. Every organizations, every institutions will be diverted into a profit-making aspects in any spheres of life you may take, whether it's agriculture, service sector, manufacturing. When the urge of the private economy and market economy drives, the theme of environmental protection goes to the back seat. So during the development process, what we did, we have completely eliminated all biospheres, all enzootic cycles, all habitat, all animal livelihood cycles, individual natural cycles among the animals, among the plants. We moved away from the bioenvironment. So naturally, the zoonotic diseases has to spillage into an anthropozoonotic disease. So whatever controversies may exist regarding the corona pandemic, one of the main fulcrum is we have invaded the spaces of microenvironment of the biological environment of the earth. So the diseases which is prevalent among the animals had its spillover where we are a very fertile, virgin population to get exposed to illness. See how much amount of impact we did about one virus which made a switch to attack humans. I have myself treated 2,500 patients in COVID so far. 2,500 patients. I know the suffering families of losing their dear ones. I have seen people who had institutions, empires crumbling down to a small microscopic virus. I have seen many of their institutions collapsing because of the simple small virus, which is an outcome of our selfish, which is an outcome where we try to invade the animal spaces, where we invade the plant spaces. where we moved out of eco-friendliness. We moved out of delivering climatic justice. We provided climatic justice. If you see all the developed nations, they have contributed to this environment degradation more than 70 to 80%, and they are forcing their rules into developing nations to follow the environmental. As developing nations, we are giving back. Come on, you make your commitment. Don't move away. We are looking at the other superpowers to say, come on, because India is one of the foremost leader in environmental protection. If you are able to gauge a speech of Indira Gandhi, our Prime Minister in the UN, it was 90% as talks about environmental protection, how to use renewable energy. And our message as a developing nation to the developed nations, come on, don't frame the rules now. Do imply the rules. They made it so in a pathetic situation. They converted developing nations as labs for all usage of pollutant fuels, so that our community get exposed. And the product of those labs, they reap up the economic benefits. If you come within, we see the most environmental impact is more to the socio-economically underprivileged sections of the society. As an MLA, I see the worst suffering of this cloudburst showers, not to the affluent classes, but to the poor, but to the underprivileged sections of society. For the rich, the waters come to the road, but for the poor, the rainwaters come to their homes. Imagine the impact. They have to move out of the families. We have to relocate them. We have a lot of famine-related deaths, rainwater affecting deaths, mostly affecting the underprivileged sections of this. And that's a discrimination ladder there too. So as humans, we have a discriminating approach to the plant kingdom and animal kingdom. Within our humans, we have a discrimination approach between developed nations and developing nations. Within a nation, we have a discriminating approach between the privileged and the underprivileged. Mother Earth is uniform to everyone. If you're going to damage her, if you're going to tamper her, she will give back. And she is giving back. In the recent climatic summit international report gives a strong warning to everyone. It is not going to be in another 100 years to come or 200 years to come. So the present generation just passed up. We are going to get exposed, and we are already being exposed to the adverse effect of the environment. Extremes of temperature, seasonal patterns have changed, extremes of floods. You've seen Bangalore right now, you've seen Chennai being damaged right now. Many of the coastal cities have been submerged. Most of the Caribbean islands have been merged. Many of the animal biodiversity has been destroyed. We are witnessing even though we are exposed to a pandemic of a zoonotic disease. What else you need? What else warning you need for the present generation? So it has to start somewhere. Laila has provided an excellent platform, biosphere model, to address to the generation about the warnings the Mother Earth is going to damage to create on us. Thank you.